You are now tuned in to Harrison Family Values. I'm Dre, your host, and I have a special one for you guys. You saw the thumbnail. Shout out to CP, the artist, my guest, for hooking me up with the thumbnail. He was like teasing me. He was like, when I sent him the thumbnail at first, he was like, yeah, that thumbnail's not going to do it. Send me the files. Then he told me I was garbage in Photoshop, and I was like, you know what? You're right. But I got a real artist coming in to talk with us about this topic. What I love about this brother's, I would call it like a ministry or service to people, is that not only does he do amazing art, which I actually hired him to do an art piece for me, but his commentary on cultural issues is spot on. Spot on. I may not agree with him on everything. And him and I have had some offline discussions and debates. But I got to be honest with you. There's a couple of things that he's been right on and I've been wrong. And one of those is one of tonight's topic. Okay. We're going to be discussing two major things. And without further ado, let me bring on my brother, CP the artist, and shout out to everybody that's watching right now. Make sure when you come in, hit the like button. All right. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. CP the artist, what's going on, bro?
Good man. Thank you for the introduction, man. And you've been a blessing to me.
Same.
You helped me with my patience and my virtues.
I know because I be frustrating you. No, I know. Yeah, man. And shout out to Ruslan for bringing us together and allowing us to
Indeed.
connect. Yeah, man. So you have amazing commentary on things pertaining to relationships um and just culture, right? And just for a quick moment, just briefly, share with my viewers about you, what you do, and your channel, so that they can get some context about what we're going to be talking about and who you are.
Okay, yeah. So I'm CP the artist. I'm an artist, visual painter, but I love to help men and women out and have a balanced perspective on dating relationships. And that is basically what my channel is. It's not to bash women, it's not to bash men, it's to be a level playing field and to bring the knowledge that I've got from therapy, through books that I read, through life experiences. That's what my channel is about.
Yeah. And you can just simply go to youtube.com um, slash
Slash
at
CP the artist. Yeah.
CP the artist, and you can subscribe to his channel because his content is dope. And if you're ever looking for like amazing art from a dope artist and you want to support actual artists and not that AI, hit up my bro and hire him to do the work. Okay. Hire him to do the work. All right, guys. So let's get into the discussion. Okay. I'm going to show you guys a picture. Okay. And CP the artist and I are going to have a, a, a discussion about this picture. Okay. Now, danger. This is adult content with a disclaimer. We're not going to be cursing. We're not going to be showing any crazy photos. But I do have on occasion, as a teacher, some students watching my content. So although I may be talking about adult topics, I got to make sure I curtail it so that my students they're not listening to their teacher speak recklessly on these YouTube streets. Danger. So flag gonna play. If you hear me doing something crazy, all right, that's not going to happen. All right, so let me show this picture and we're going to get right into it. Ooh. So I had to put the emojis on it. Again, on occasion, I'll have some young people watching my stuff. Okay, but here's Ciara with her husband, who claims to be a believer, a Christian, who has publicly came out saying that God has called him to lead his wife. Here they are at the Vanity Fair Oscar after party. Now, behind those emojis is explicit content. And I believe, if I remember correctly, you and I had a discussion about Russell Wilson. And the
Heated
discussion
one.
was, yeah, the discussion was, I said he had to be an alpha male because you can't lead grown men to a Super Bowl championship, win, and then the next year go back and win. right? And him and I was
Right.
adamant, like he can't be, right? CP the artist said, and you can let him know what you told me.
There were so many arguments. I don't even remember. 'Cause
Yeah,
we went on for like
yeah,
hours, man.
hours.
For
I was in my
yeah.
backyard too. I remember that day.
Almost spilled
Yeah,
your lemonade.
yeah. I was literally pacing in my backyard, like
No,
what,
but
what? Yeah,
okay, all right. If the gist of it was this, right? My
yeah.
thing was this: that you do not marry a Sierra
Mm,
if you're an alpha male. If you're an
mm,
alpha male, you do not let a Sierra type walk all over you and
yep,
call yourself an alpha male. I
yep,
think what we do in our careers is different from how we handle women. And I think that's like where we will allude to after this was the Sadia, comment about like, we obviously go for these types.
yeah, yep, yeah. And it's like, and again, I was really defensive over him. I was, saying like, come on, like really, he has to be an alpha if he's able to lead men to that on that stage in that kind of arena. But um, if he's not able to lead his wife and family in the way he's called to
Right.
lead, then you're right. I had to sort of repent for my words, and even have to do even later on did a video because she was doing, I guess, a music video one time,
Yeah, I
and
remember that.
I'll link the video in the description as well. And one of the promo videos was her in these pants that had slits showing her derriere. And the thing is, this photo right here is even worse because she left
Mm-hmm.
nothing to the imagination. Okay.
Nope.
Now, my thing was this. What what if I say it like this, right?
Danger.
He cannot be mad if she goes through her IG or Facebook or text message, and she's sending nude photos of herself to another dude because she keeps sending nude photos to everybody
The
on the
world.
internet. So it's like, dag man, like he can't even like go through her phone because if he says, hey, why are you sending homeboy these photos? What are you talking about? Everybody in the world see these photos. Like, you know,
Well, let's get to the heart of it. Like,
mhm,
did she, say, "Hey, honey, how did this look?" before they went to the party? And what was his expression like? Yeah, you gonna wear that? And she's like, "What? You can't police me." She most likely says, "Oh yeah, you can't police me. Why I can't wear this? So and
mhm,
so on. I'm 37 years old. Why can't I wear what I want to wear?" I think the thing is that when some men, when they try to exhibit boundaries with women that want to be boundaryless,
mhm,
underneath the guise of they don't want to be controlling, they kind of want to be understanding, they get pushed along and ran over like what's happening here.
yeah, yeah,
A man's job is to be a protector. And sometimes protection means that you do not wear certain things for solicitation, for sexual solicitation.
yep,
And so, he exhibited very beta male um,
mm,
tendencies by not being the leader of his household, number
yeah,
one,
yeah,
not developing the trust from her, because I think a lot of women in our society, they hear, "Oh, you're trying to control us. No, we're not trying to control y'all." Well, good men are not trying to control you. What we're
yeah,
trying to do is protect you,
yep,
right? Protect you
yep,
from bad decisions or whatever. The things that we're going, because a man's job is to look ahead. Like
yep,
when you're out with your wife, I do this when I'm on my dates, whatever. I'm scanning the whole room to see
yep,
what is going on. I'm
yeah,
scanning the room. It's like, okay, this is the exit. If
yeah,
anything go over, we're out.
yep,
We're protected.
yep. Yeah, my wife knows it. It sometimes drives her crazy because, of course, I got to face the door, but I already know where all the exits are, and before I sit down, I have a plan of escape for me and my family. Like
Right.
it's already there. Yeah, I hear you. Mhm. And that protection piece, I think women conflate because they conflate that protection with controlling. You
Hmm.
know, if a husband is telling his wife, "Yeah, that's a little bit too revealing,"
Right.
it's not to control you. It really is to protect you. And women don't see that. And here's the thing: they want the man to be protective. They want the man to be a provider, but they want to set the parameters behind how they're protected. This photo shows that she is the one setting the parameters behind how he is protecting her. Because there is no reason why you and I should have visuals of her like this at all. No man, no man, okay? No man. She's a beautiful woman, right? And she may have a shape. And to be perfectly honest with you, there are men that would see a fully dressed woman and imagine things.
Hmm.
The issue is now they
There's
don't
no
even have to
imagination.
imagine.
There's no imagination. I think the thing too is oh man, I forgot my I think the thing too is that how is he feeling? Like you
Yeah.
have to also consider like his feelings. Like, if a guy's eyes, could you imagine like you're at a party and guys' eyes are looking at your wife's
Yeah.
cakes?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is like, and then they're in their mind thinking about things because the imagination is gone.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like it's a little
Eh,
was it cuckoldry or something like that?
yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, like she has to like look, we want our women to look good for us. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I think that is, there's a thin line between that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. And I want my wife to look good with me, right? We're walking around and I think, she looks good as is. And even when I'm walking, right, I make sure that um if I'm walking with her and I see a guy walking in the opposite direction of us, right, I'm going to slow down a little bit and take a step right behind her just slightly, all right, to
I see
block
what
any kind
you're
of
saying.
visuals that he might have. Like
That's smart.
he may want to turn
That's
around,
smart.
right? So I'm holding her hand and I'll keep holding her hand. I'll walk back a little bit and slightly walk over to the side to block any kind of view that he may want to have, right? Because
That's
now here's
smart.
the thing: it's just to protect her, right? It's to protect
Right.
her. I'm the only man who should have the privilege to be able to enjoy that. Okay, and I'm going to protect my wife from feeling like she's being objectified out there in the streets.
Right.
Our boy Russell Wilson's not doing that, and bro, I went hard for him. I did
You
a
did.
video. I did a video, right, telling why he's an alpha male, and then I had to do a whole video retracting that. You know,
And I did one that he wasn't one.
yeah, right,
I did one because he wasn't one. But I think the thing
yeah,
is that, and we're in a Christian space right now.
mhm.
So, um, and I hope what I'm saying is, I know I'm going to hit the danger alert.
Danger.
I got you.
It's like
I'll do it
I
now.
feel, I feel like I'm at LA Fit. No, Planet Fitness. You know what I'm saying? When you
Yeah,
drop the dumbbells, something goes on.
yeah.
But I think the thing is that Christian men have to get out of the nice guy role, the
Ooh,
nice guy trap. The nice guy trap is getting us walked all over. I
mm,
was a nice guy for I say 18 years of my Christian life, right?
yeah,
And I picked up, dating and books and uh, the red pill. I ain't gonna lie,
yep,
I'm a former red pill, right? But there's some things I picked up, but now I'm out of that, and now I'm more balanced, and so forth and so on. But the things I picked up was like women, they really want the ability to respect you, right?
mm,
They want
yeah,
a man that they going to respect, and
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
that's earned. It can never be forced. I'll
yep,
make that clear. It can never be forced. But when a man has a take it or leave it attitude, right? A take it or leave it attitude,
yeah,
he he projects strength. It's like this.
Mm,
Women do not think about the guy that is always blowing up her phone, wanting her back. She doesn't think about him. What
yeah.
she thinks about is the guy that forgot all about her.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Mhm.
So the
Eh,
thing is that when you're, and I think the thing was just like, my struggle with the Christian community, and we've had heart to hearts, and
yeah.
I take what you say. I think the thing is that nice guy thing, the nice guy thing, like, yes, we're supposed to be, wash our women with the word and all the other stuff, right? But we forget about Proverbs 7 verse 4. When it talks about a woman that the Bible says, be wise, carry wisdom with you. Wisdom is your sister.
Yeah.
Beware of this type of woman.
Yeah.
Take knowledge with you.
Yeah.
So the thing is that you have to start taking knowledge with you when it goes into being with a woman,
Yeah.
because you're not only setting your life with her for the rest of your life, you're taking all her baggage, all her things that she hasn't dealt with, and that's coming into your marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. And we see it playing out. We see it playing out. My sister-in-law, what's going on? Stephanie says, I heard she was paid by the designer to wear that. And here's what I have to say, and I say this respectfully.
Danger.
If he agreed to her getting paid to wear that in public with her, he's operating more like a PIMP than he is her HUSBAND. Okay. And there's no amount of money that a husband should consider their wife, a godly man, to consider their wife to walk outside
Let
like
me jump
this.
on that.
Let's do it. Do it.
Um, I looked at Ciara's Instagram. She has 33 million followers.
Yeah.
I
It's crazy.
guarantee you, if she created her own uh, line, even if she sold to 1%, she'll be almost a billionaire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So how much she got paid to wear that is not the amount that she could get by doing her own.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's many designers that would have given her stuff for free because she's a celebrity.
Yep.
And she could award something better.
Yep.
So it's like, and her man is like worth what, 200 million? I think he signed like, or 100 million. It's signed bonus.
It's out there.
Like,
It's
come
worth
on.
more than me.
She could have went to Lane Bryant. She could have went to Forever 21 to figure something out.
Facts. And left with a
Fashion
backward
Nova.
scripture on it.
Fashion Nova didn't have a sale.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I wanted to address this real quick because this is you and I had heated debates about this, and I rode with this brother. I rode with him, and my disappointment is that he went out there publicly stated that God called him to lead her. And that's my biggest issue with this. If that statement was never said, I would have nothing to say about what she wore at all.
How wasn't that and just think about that line in itself, how problematic it was. Like, there's a lot of things that we think God is calling us to do.
Mm.
I mean, God could be in heaven like, nah, I tell you to do that. Like, remember what was the guy, Abraham, or what was one of the him and his wife, they were like really, really old and they couldn't conceive.
Oh, Abraham and Sarah. Yeah,
and Sarah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they took the slave girl. He took the slave girl.
Yeah.
And God, because he thought it was like, what? Obviously, my wife can't have no kids. We tried.
Yeah. And it was
so. Let me go with and he probably thought to himself, "Oh God, this has to be the one."
And Sarah was the one who told her servant, have intercourse with my husband and give us a child. Like it was like,
right. But God promised, but they thought, oh, maybe this is what they promised. No, it's not what they promised. And I think the thing is that God is not a God of, no common sense.
Yeah, true.
Like he gave us knowledge, psychology, science, all this other stuff to pick and choose the right or wrong, spouse. And I think the thing is for men and women, and this is what I learned over the years, is that taking care of yourself, going through therapy,
Mhm.
along with a spiritual understanding,
Yeah,
biblical knowledge, they have to marry each other.
yeah.
Really believe they have to marry each other, because when I went through counseling and marriage counseling, there wasn't the things that my grandmother was telling me. God bless her. That, oh, you're gonna pray it out. Oh, this and that.
Yeah,
Blah blah blah. There was more of the meat and potatoes in
yeah,
therapy.
yeah. Imagine what her children will think when they see that. That reminds me of the video that Tia Mowry tastelessly shared on her Instagram of her in a similar outfit, not so revealing, with her son, upset about her wearing that outfit. Like we're not, women are not considering what they're putting out there for their kids to have to deal with, because the truth of the matter is, okay, her children go to middle school and high school, and their classmates will have access to these photos and may even use it to roast them.
Yes.
I heard that there was a OnlyFans. Who was it? It was somebody famous who
Oh, was it Black China?
it could have been her, who
Yeah.
her kids were being made fun of at school because she had a OnlyFans account. We're not thinking about the ramifications this is going to have on our legacy.
Mm-mm.
This is this dress is beyond a sexy outfit. This is straight up. I'm giving you everything I got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this
The
and
funniest part is his face in there. He looked
yeah, it's like
like, like, all
yeah,
right. He looks so
yeah.
uncomfortable.
I know. And the
There's
thing
a
is,
video
he
go.
should.
There's a video going around where he surprised her somewhere, and she
I
had
saw
like
that.
this.
The awkward. It was
Yeah.
awkward. She was like, "What are you doing here, babe?" Oh, he's trying to give her a kiss, and she's
Uh,
pulling away. I saw that. Yeah.
there's a book that I've been reading. It's called The Way of the Superior Man by David Dita, and there's a chapter in there which says, she doesn't really want to be number one, and talked about, a woman, sometimes she seems that she wants to be the most important thing in a man's life, but however, um, if she is the most important thing, she's going to feel like, that she has no independence, or
Yeah.
he is too dependent
Dependent.
like
Yeah.
on her. So it's
Yeah.
like it's
I
very
see that.
important for a man to maintain his purpose,
Mm,
and uh, you know show her that, look, this is my purpose. and
yeah.
and she and it's, I think it's like sort of like in the Bible, like where the curse that was on Eve, I think in the Bible, where it says, he will be, you will be longing for him, or something like that, to the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. One of the
And right,
yeah.
right. So
One of
it's
the
like, if
like
you're
the three.
up under her all the time, like a little like petty dog, she's going to feel like you are treating her like a celebrity. A woman does not want you to, maybe some narcissist women
Yeah.
want to feel like they are your celebrity.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where simping happens. That's when you're elevating your lady above yourself or your values. Like this, I am sorry, my brother, for ever coming against your word on this. Like,
Look, man, we
I'm
both trying
sorry.
to learn, man. No, it's all good.
But
It's all
yeah.
good. Because here's the thing, like, I'm trying to balance
My
myself
wife,
out.
I've debated my wife on this very thing, and
Mm.
she agreed with you. Yeah, I kid you not. Kid you not. I used to tell her the same thing. Like, how do you think that if he could lead men to the Super Bowl. Like, how was he? How was he like not an alpha? But then, yeah, then this. But yeah, I'm
It's
sorry.
like it's like the whole Drake debate. Is he an alpha male? No, he's not an alpha male.
Yeah, yeah,
Drake, as much money and as much women that he has, Drake is nowhere near an alpha male. He is the
wow,
biggest simp. He puts everything, in his lyrics.
yeah,
If he's in a room with, let's say, Jay-Z, I think everybody is respecting Jay-Z. They're not
yeah,
respecting Drake. As
yeah,
much money as a
yeah,
Jeff Bezos. Remember Jeff Bezos? Jeff Bezos, he was at a cocktail party. Leonardo DiCaprio was in there. Walked by to say
yeah.
hello to him, and his girl was It's like he's not the and Jeff Bezos is the second richest man in the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if a woman feels like she has you in the palm of your hand. It's hard for her
Well, she
to
has you by
really.
the. No, never mind. That's this.
Danger.
You see,
That's it.
you need your own warning. You know what I mean? But
Danger.
if she has if she has you in the palm of her hand, she
Yeah.
doesn't want that. You know?
Yeah. 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 And we'll close on this and then get into the Sadia psychology.
Can't wait.
I think a couple of days before this, or a week before this, they were actually in a prison, a male prison, together doing ministry, prison ministry. I have family, close family, like really close family, who work in jails. Okay, and I can imagine that every man that she probably prayed over and led in worship probably has gone on the internet, saw this photo, printed it out,
All right.
and now
all
have
right.
it hanging on their wall, thinking to themselves, she was the one who
She was
prayed for
just
me.
here.
She was just
I
here,
don't know.
just here.
Mm-mm-mm.
And women out there who, and I know you're going to be out there. I can think of a few that's going to be in my DM saying how they disagree, and some who may be Christian, who may be saying, "Who are you to judge?" Understand this. This is not a representation of the Proverbs 31 that many of you claim to be. And one of the things that is important about being a Proverbs 31 woman, which a lot of women don't understand, is that a man's reputation in the community has a lot to do with how you represent him in that community. The Bible says in Proverbs 31 that his name, or that he will be known at the city gates, which means that he has a reputation at the city gates. And part of that reputation is him having a wife who honors him and loves him in a way and respects him in a way and does him no, disservice or doesn't represent him well in the
Right.
community.
Right.
So,
and as
yeah,
sorry to cut you off. As
yeah,
much as women do not like that, you represent your man.
yeah,
You have his last name.
yeah,
He doesn't have yours.
yeah,
You represent him. So how you conduct yourself, that's like this may not be biblical, but a woman is a man's, like, well, it is biblical. Is a
yeah,
man's gift. Like, it's just
yeah,
like everything he worked for, because a woman is a man's muse. Like, he's worked. And this is where hypergamy thing, but there's biblical hypergamy in a
yeah, yeah,
way,
yeah,
where it's like, uh, back in biblical times, they would arrange maybe a marriage, or there was a thing where a father would sell his daughter, give a man a dowry, and that would be worth something, and he
yeah,
would marry her. So it means
yeah,
that she had to be worth something in order to, you know, um, the thing. But that man had to also, like, be able to provide, have
yeah,
cattle, have
yeah, yeah,
land. He worked his way, and he did all these other things. So he should have a wife that is going to have his kids, and they're going to start a family that is going to put honor to his name. Because, like, look, we're old school, right?
yeah,
I am 47 years old, but I'm never going to disrespect
Listen,
legacy that my
guys,
mom.
you hear that? Like he's got me by 4 years, and I look like I got him by 10.
You got the hairline though, man. You got the hairline. I don't. So count your blessings. You know what I'm saying? Did you want young looks or do you want your hairline? You know?
I don't know. I don't know because hold up, the bald head thing is in though. Like these ladies, they
come on, man. I'm looking like an eggshell, man. I can't wait for the summer. Can't wait for my tan.
yeah. But you're saying that you're 47?
No, I'm 47. I can't disrespect the legacy of my mom.
Yeah.
Like I carry myself with knowing that I have to make my mom proud of me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's absolutely true, man. So, yeah, we're gonna end this segment. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of happy inmates in that jail. I'm just saying. Yeah, with that being said. Oh gosh. Man. Shout out to everybody that's watching live. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're watching got to this point and you haven't hit the like button, do me a favor, smash that like button. It tells YouTube that it's a video worth sharing. So hit that like button right now, okay? And if one of my moderators can share CP the Artist YouTube channel, that will be extremely helpful. Okay. So, you put me on to Sadia Kahn, known as Sadia Psychology. You sent me a video that I watched a few times, and there's a segment in that video I want to have a response and reaction with you with about. You guys see the title and you see the thumbnail, and the question we have is, and I'm gonna end this poll here. Let me read the poll real quick because in the poll I asked you guys, was Ciara disrespectful to her husband by wearing that dress? 83% of you said yes. 17% of you said no. Okay. All right. Okay. Like, man. All right. I don't know. But I'm going to ask another question, okay? In the poll, in the comments, in the chat, I want you guys to answer. Do modern men reward toxicity? All right. I'm asking you guys right now. The poll is now open. Leave your answers in the chat section. All right. Do modern men reward toxicity? We'll play the video real quick, and then we'll have a quick commentary on it. Cool. All right. Here we go. This is on which podcast is this? This is on I forgot the name of the podcast. But this brother's a podcaster. He's based in Dubai. And we're going to get into this. CP, you there? Let me see if I can get him on. CP, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Could you hear me?
Yeah, I see you. But something happened. Like you doubled up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we got you back. All right. So he had his a guest, Sadia Kahn, who was a psychologist and a relationship coach. And we're gonna play this video real quick for you guys and hear her point of view on men rewarding toxicity. Check this out. I thought she made some good points.
So I'm actively looking for female guests, but I know a lot.
And I have it going at 1.25 speed so that we have less of a risk of us getting copyright.
Lots of women who have built up a large following.
Yeah.
But how they've done that is by usually exposing themselves.
Yeah, it's questionable.
So it's difficult.
And if you want me to stop at any point, CP, let me know. And
we can go.
To find women out there who are, they have a decent job, they're hardworking, they're someone who other women would sort of respect. It's not easy.
Impossible because, and that's what makes it difficult for women who aren't along those lines because they're thinking, I don't know, especially when you look on social media, they're thinking, my guy's never bought me a handbag. My husband's never taken me to these nice places. My guy's never done that. And then you take a woman who's incredibly promiscuous online and whatever she wants in life, she gets to get. So you start to realize that men reward promiscuity. They reward toxicity. They reward non-traditional values, but then they claim they want a good woman. And then you're like, this is strange. What they're saying and what they're doing is different. Look at what they're saying. They want good traditional women, but look at what they're investing in. They're investing in the woman with her entire body out. And the other things men will say is, I want a natural woman, no makeup. But you see who they're following on Instagram. It's nothing but surgeries, fillers, this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, you're saying this, but what are you actually investing your time and energy into and your resources into?
CP, what do you think? Like, what do you mind?
Look, personal story. I went after those types. I had a female friend. She was best friends to a girl I was talking to. That's best friend. She was on VH1. I ain't gonna get on that. And she said to me, she said, CP, you're like these women in Atlanta. You go after the wrong ones and expect that you're gonna get something different. She's telling me that her best friend was the wrong one. And so
so the girl you was dating, her best friend said that you were dating the wrong one.
Yes.
Was she trying to slide in your DM?
No, she was married. No, she was married.
Got you. Okay, all right.
I was. She hired me to do her paternity. Yeah, she was pregnant with her second child, and her husband. So no, she wasn't trying to slide.
Right.
No, but yeah, and that was like this was before my red pill, thing. It was like a slap in my face, but I didn't get it until I got into a relationship with someone. She and I were cool, but she threw the game on me.
Yeah.
And I felt, I'm gonna keep it real, but I do remember there was this nice Christian girl that I was dating. She was so corny, but she was pretty. She was like innocent. Like I didn't even like try
shout
to
out
kiss
to
her or
all the
anything
pretty
like
corny girls out there. All right, shout out.
And we went on day dates. That's how it was like, that was it. Like we went on day dates. You know what I'm saying?
So
I went with the ratchet one.
Ah, man. Listen, the day dates are safe, even according to rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, right? Because he was the one who said, if you're not looking to have intercourse, don't date after 8 p.m. Which I still don't necessarily agree with. But the truth of the matter is, right? If you have a day date, right, it's probably going to be safe for both of you guys, especially if you are believers. You're trying to make sure that you honor God with your bodies until you're able to get married and do some God honoring things in the bed. But that's safe, right? So you had a nice, corny, beautiful Christian girl who went out on day dates, but the ratchet one was like, got you.
Yeah, but to get to Sadia's point, she's right. I mean, look at Fresh and Fit, right? Fresh and Fit. Myron Gaines told all millions of his followers, watch out for this girl, watch out for that girl, da 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 da. And he's with OnlyFans girl, and telling him he loves her and so on. And especially like in the red pill community, right? Like if you look at their girlfriends and wives, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna because some of them are married. I'm not gonna be public here and disrespect their wives but they are not the wives that they're warning men about. I mean, they are the wives that they're warning the same men about. But there is a correlation. I would love to get into it, but go ahead.
Yeah. I agree. And I think there's also similarities between men who are married and will watch porn, because there's a certain level of fantasy that exists in being able to see that, even though you don't have that. You want the good one because it's safe. But the Instagram baddies, or those that are out there being fake itself, it's sort of intriguing to you guys, a lot of men. And she's absolutely right. I think in this area, women who present in a way that's not necessarily wifely tends to get the most attention?
And I did a little research into this, right? The thing is that a masculine man is going to go for a more feminine woman.
Facts.
A very feminine man is going to go for a more masculine type of woman. Sometimes there is a release where a man wants either a cool woman or a hot woman, depending on his life. If his life is boring, he is going to want a hot woman. So if you have a day-to-day where you're making money, everything is through that, you are most likely going to want a hot woman to give you that spark. Now, if you are a like your life is hot, it's going, it's you know, a lot of things going on, you're gonna more tend to focus on a more cooler woman that, you know, is going to balance your hot life and your chaotic things. Because if you're battling the world and you come home to peace, you're going to be like, wow. So I think that, you know, the majority of men, they're going to go for the Instagram, you know, thotties, because in their mind, they are the dopamine release. Okay. That dopamine release is going to say, okay, this is what I feel is most going to satisfy me. And also, to her point, I believe that men that, you know, have not invested in themselves, mature spiritually or anything like that, I think that most of them, they're going to go for the easy out, and that is going to be the woman that's more you know, promiscuous or so on and so on. That's who he's going to put his resource into, because it's more easier than to just say, okay, I have to learn how to talk, I have to learn how to make her laugh, I have to be more confident in myself. No, it's not going to work like that.
I agree. And shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Patricia Moore, I see you. Molly December, I see you. Gracious greatness from across the pond. Thank you so much for being here. Chavis, what's going on, bro? I see you guys too. All right. Let's continue watching a little bit more of this video. And let me know what you guys think in the chat and in the comment section down below.
You know, I was doing some research before this podcast, looking at your Instagram page and like the interview you did with Tam and Tate.
Yes. Yeah.
And it actually made me think, oh, who
am I following?
And I know there's definitely some accounts which questionable accounts.
Of course.
And then I realized, like, well, I'm a part of the problem, because by following them,
you're giving them
supporting them
success
in a weird way.
Well, it's not in a weird way, it's in a direct way. Not just you, but it's everybody. Like, if I learn that if I just post a picture of my cooking, and if I post a picture of like me just teaching my kids something, no one's rewarding that. But if I post a picture of me in my bikini and I get 10,000 followers and I get brand deals as a result of that, and I get free clothes and I get free makeup, we're looking at the women, but really women are the supply. The demand is who are they going towards? The men are investing in there's men out there that will pay 10 grand for a picture of a woman's feet. And there's another woman who's thinking, okay, I can go to university, study, and then, you know, do something. Or another girl can post a picture of her feet and then make that same money in a day. And then we're going to think, what are young, impressionable women who don't have father figures or don't have people that are supporting them at home? Where are they going to go?
I haven't.
I think that's a good point. Also, really good point.
Triggered me.
There was something I even had to look at, because, you know, that at one point I was single, right? And there were some accounts that I was following, and maybe even some photos that I liked, not even that crazy, right? Of some women. And I had to, like, really, after I got married, do some like looking and saying, like, okay, who am I following now? Like, are they going to add any value to my life? Are they just there for eye candy? Because if that's the case, I don't need to be following them anymore.
Listen.
I went and unfollowed.
Look, I'm a single guy. I don't even like, because I know that gives them validation. Now, if I do like, it's going to be one little picture here, maybe 3 or 4 over here. And that's it, right? I'm not going to give them validation. Sometimes your likes is telling them what you are voting for. Now, to her point about men that, you know, go after these women and so forth and so on. You know, it's funny that triggered me about what she was saying. I'm an artist, and, you know, look, I don't want me to brag, but I'm pretty good as an artist.
Talk
now, but there are girls on Instagram who can't put a stick figure together that have men buying their work for as like a lot of money. Okay. But what they
Gotcha.
do is, and there's this like open secret that they're doing thirst trapping. They're doing some thirst trapping,
Yep.
and you know they're doing the thirst trapping just to help their art sells. I can't do that, even though 66% of my audience is female. I can't do that. Right? I can't do that. You're not gonna see me with my shirt off or so forth and so on. You can't. You know, plus I'm bony. I got bird chest now. But besides the point, yeah, men just they do pour their resources into women that are less scantily clad.
But that also goes for YouTube content creators,
Yes.
because there are now. I think that female voices in the space of relationships is important, but there are some voices out there who could go on live right now, say
And
the
say
very
absolutely
thing
nothing.
that, or even say the very same thing that we're saying, right? And be showered with super chats, super stickers, and not like $5-10. These men
Oh
are
yeah.
dropping $100,
Oh yeah.
$200, $500 just because the
Simping
woman
is
is
real.
beautiful, right? The woman is beautiful, and she's on some,
Yeah.
women of this and women of that, and guys of this, and they're great. Boom, $500 right at the rip. I come up
Right.
here and say, there needs to be balance in a marriage and a relationship, and nothing. There's no, I don't get none of, not that I'm asking for, but it'd be nice to have some super chats
Oh,
from time
you
to time.
know, throw some change. Throw the
Yeah.
collection plate out here.
Right?
No,
I
you're
pass
right.
that. Yeah.
And like the worst thing I've done was go on TikTok, and then I'm scrolling through TikTok, and there's a live, and there's this girl, I don't know, cooking, and she can't even cook. She can't even boil water, right? And dudes are just like, oh, turn around, da da da. Like there's this thirst, right? And then it's like they're typing away, like, and then they're hitting the buttons, and they're sending the gifts and so forth and so on. And it's like, I don't get that. I don't get that when I'm painting live or something so forth and so on. No, there's a strong simp culture because men do not know how to properly believe in themselves, number one, and number two, not use money as a bait. They're using money as bait when it's not going to work that way. It's not going to work by baiting women. You could use your charisma to get the woman that you like, and no matter how much money you give her, she wants the money. She never wants you. She's going to be and this is one of Sadia's points. Sadia told me that, look, be careful of these women, because they will be with you before your resources, but they'll be cheating with the pool boy.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Look in the Bible. What's his name? Joseph. Was it Joseph?
No. Yeah. It was Joseph.
Joshua. Was it?
No, it was Joseph.
Right.
Joseph.
Who
had Potiphar's wife.
Potiphar's wife. Yeah. We don't even you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. And this was like this is another point. It's like we are supposed to love our women. I get that, right? But I think me as a Christian, from what I feel like, what we have washed over, sort of in a simpish way, in a blue pill type of way, offense is like all these women in the Bible that we read about. Bible put them in there. We like are going to be like, all right, you know what? They're all over. They're not all over the place. They are all over the place. There are those Potiphar's wives. There are the Delilahs. Women that we have to watch out for.
Yeah. Very careful of that. All right, let's continue watching a little bit more.
This was an interesting scenario. When I was in Bali, I got speaking to I think she was either Filipino or she was from Indonesia. So it's a relatively poor country. Right. So she came from an extremely poor family, and there was really no hope for her. There was no, the education was poor.
Yeah.
She couldn't get any kind of a job.
Yeah.
Pretty girl.
Yeah.
She decided to start OnlyFans.
Okay.
Now she became very successful on that, has made huge amounts of money,
Right.
still making a lot of money.
Right.
And she's actually been able to take her entire family out of poverty.
Yeah. She's
So
changed the generation for herself.
this is kind of weird because I always had this view of OnlyFans girls, and it usually wasn't like the best.
Yeah, they just want a bag or something
But
like that.
when I think of these individuals who are not coming from the most affluent of backgrounds, when they are actually using that money to support their family, I'm thinking, oh.
Yeah.
And maybe there was no other way she could have done that.
But that's the thing. Like, if you take a girl who's suffering in Bali or Indonesia and she asks somebody to help me and my dad, we're living in a really poor conditions, men will say, no, that's your problem. But if she says, I'll have sex with you or I'll sell a picture of me naked, he'll be like, okay, how much do you need? Now, when men are rewarding promiscuity, what do you expect the women to do? What do you expect them to do? And we've got all these issues about women are no longer traditional, women are this, women are that. I'm not saying that they're not, but why are we rewarding that so much? And what do you expect somebody who's poor and hasn't got like a financial stable home or hasn't got father figure, mother figure? She's looking online and seeing what men like. Women go towards what men like. We do, whether we like it or not. We are dictated by male preferences. That's why our hair color will change. The surgeries will change based on what men like. The men will watch a lot of porn, have a preference. Women become that. That's what society looks like now. And
did you hear what she said?
Yeah, I did.
She said, and guys, viewers, listen. She said, men have a preference, and the women become the preference. Men will have a preference, and the women become the preference. And a lot of times, like the young lady from Indonesia or Bali who you mentioned, if they know,
I was thinking about Dominican Republic.
DR, if they know how they can exploit a man without, any kind of solid, connections, then they'll probably do that, especially if they don't have any educational background to earn money. They'll find ways to make that money. And men are visual. Men will give money just to see somebody's feet. So I can go on OnlyFans and disconnect myself from all of that, see all grain, and put my body out there because I know men prefer this. So in essence, what she's saying is this: men are the ones responsible for women getting into prawn or women doing OnlyFans because we are the consumers of it. And if there is a demand, they're going to make sure that there's a supply.
True.
If there's a demand, they're going to make sure that there's a supply. If there was a demand for a genuine demand for good quality, shout out to Gracious Greatness for the super chat, a super sticker. Continually, we need to, let me just put this up there. Continually, men and women continually need to check our hearts. 100% agree. And thank you so much for the super chat. That's a pound, right? You gave me I got a pound. What? It's the first time I got British currency. Thank you, bro. I greatly appreciate it. But the demand is high. So they're going to make sure to meet that demand, and they don't have to commit at all, but they're going to make sure that they put it out there and get that money.
But here's the thing, though. That is probably a small percentage of women.
Oh, I forgot.
And I think
I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a small percentage of women. Like, I live in Atlanta. Recently, a friend who's in the shoe modeling, contacted me for a painting, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, she's in her 40s and she's still modeling shoes. And I just shook my head. She wanted a painting, and I want to kind of interview her because it's like, wow, her view of what she thinks men are is so skewed. So she will, like what Sadia is saying, operate into, I have to go to the surgeon and get this. I'm going to have to get the surgeon to do that, and so forth and so on, just so I can think. But there's the other caveat, though, that most men are just going to want for one thing, and it's not a long time thing. They want them around for a short time, not a long time. So if you keep on being a short-term thing, where's the longevity? Because, you know, I have a lot of female friends, beautiful female friends, who are, you know, shaped like what she's describing.
Yeah.
But there's no man in sight.
Mm. Mm. So, and that's what I was getting at, right? They it's the demand. So at this point now, they're just trying to get what they can get from these men.
But remember, it's a quick flip. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like the whole NFT thing, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole NFT thing was, you know, you create, you know, you buy these NFTs and you turn around and you sell them real quick. It was no true, and there was an investment, yes, but it was for the short term, not the long term. So these women, they'll do all these surgeries and so forth and so on, get a man for a short term and have to do it all over again. So it what she's saying is true, but now a lot of these women are being kept.
Yeah. But if the demand was higher, because less people are getting married today, if the demand was higher, like as she was saying, men claim to want a traditional woman, but they keep rewarding the toxic women. If the demand is higher, really higher for traditional women, and men are starting to put their resources into that, that will probably change the trajectory of what we're seeing today.
Yeah, I agree. Because there's that argument where, you know, you want a traditional woman, but you don't want her to do traditional things. You want her to date her and have sex on the first night. You want to go on a date and make her go 50-50.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And and like, you know, I hear the talking points. It doesn't make sense. You have to court a woman. You have to respect her. You have to also be comfortable with her wanting to wait. Like, you have to be comfortable with wanting her to wait, because, you know, I'm not saying this about, you know, there you know, I remember, I think I asked you, right? There's the Proverbs 31 woman, and there's the Proverbs 7 women.
Yeah.
And there's everybody in between.
Yeah. Which
Which is the largest group? Everybody in between.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's like, or, you know, you go ahead.
But yeah, let's look at that, right? Which one of those, though, in today's day, in today's context, which one is getting the most attention? The Proverbs 7 woman. So now everyone's in between, right? In their heart, they want to be traditional, but they want to try to find a man, and they're competing with men giving all their resources to those Proverbs 7.
Right.
So
right.
Maybe I should just do
But remember, it's for the short term. It's not for the long term.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's a caveat too, right? So yes, they go for that Proverbs 7 woman, right? The OnlyFans girl, right? But that's for the short term.
Yeah.
And then they expect the everyone else, the traditional girl and the woman that has some boundaries and some coof, to act like that girl. That's the other problem too. It's like, look, I got that from her. This is what I expect from all women. And it's like, you can't play it that way, dog.
Yeah, agreed. So I'm going to end the poll now. 75% of you guys said yes, modern men do reward toxicity. 25% of you guys said no. All right. And what I'll do is I'll open up the Q&A for those who, hold on.
And my battery's about to die.
Oh man, so we got to go. All right. Let's continue. What percentage you at?
13.
And then they're just mad at the girl, but they're mad at the very girl that they're following every day on Instagram and liking and DMing.
So Ruslan said this. Ruslan in his song "Too Soon," he talked about the men, right? Got these OnlyFans, right, and they get mad at the women because they're funding the OnlyFans women, but they get mad at the women for having OnlyFans. It's kind of funny.
It's like,
it baffles me because I find out how much money they're making. I'm like, who are these guys that are paying
Who
for
are
that?
these guys? Let's
Like,
that's the
imagine
problem.
a scenario where they snapped out of it,
Yeah.
and then they stop. All men just stop
Yeah.
their OnlyFans subscriptions.
Yeah.
What would happen then?
Yeah, but then we are encouraging
Society would generally be better, wouldn't it?
They're the source, yeah. Like it's like you can blame the drug dealer, but they wouldn't have a market if there was no drug addicts. And the reality is, who looks more stupid, the drug dealer or the drug addict? The drug dealer can then clean out his money and live a great life. The drug addict is the one who's living with shame, guilt, embarrassment, a less fulfilling life. Same thing as these men that follow the women or invest in OnlyFans. The woman is clearing up, but you're the one that's still there like a loser, not learning how to talk to women in real life, not learning how to invest in women in real life. You're the idiot, not her. So we need to stop blaming the OnlyFans girls and be like, you're the trash. But really, the trash is the person that's subscribing.
Ah!
Danger, danger.
Ouch!
Didn't I just say that?
Sadia, I'm not sure if you're gonna watch this, but yo, you had to go there. Ow, gentlemen,
whoa.
I know that hurt.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
no. What did you agree with her with? I had to put in my charger.
Yeah, let's go back. All right. Listen, like she actually kills it here.
Will change. The surgeries will change based on what men like. The men will watch a lot of porn, have a preference. Women become that. That's what society looks like now. And they're more stupid. The drug dealer or the drug addict? The drug more stupid. The drug
Society would generally be better, wouldn't it?
They're the source. Yeah, like it's like you can blame the drug dealer, but they wouldn't have a market if there was no drug addicts. And the reality is, who looks more stupid, the drug dealer or the drug addict? The drug dealer can then clean out his money and live a great life. The drug addict is the one who's living with shame, guilt, embarrassment, a less fulfilling life. Same thing as these men that follow the women or invest in OnlyFans. The woman is clearing up, but you're the one that's still there like a loser, not learning how to talk to women in real life, not learning how to invest in women in real life. You're the idiot, not her.
She just
Didn't
said
I just
men
say that?
out there giving all these resources to these toxic women are idiots. And the problem is, you guys can rag on these women for having these accounts, but you're funding them. You're liking their photos. We're all liking their photos. We're
I ain't liking their
praising
photos.
Ciara. Well, I'm just saying, like, men in general, liking photos like the one that Ciara posted with her husband on Vanity. Men are doing that. Men are doing that. So essentially, and this is when we got to be objective, because people in the red pill, men in the red pill and the manosphere won't admit to this. And I remember a couple of years ago, I forgot, I know who they are. I won't say their names, but two men that were prominent in the manosphere was bragging about the amount of money they spent on women, service women in Brazil. And then they talked about names, and they even had the same service women in Brazil bragging about it.
Right.
Who she left, she got your money, right? Like, who's the idiot here? And I think she brings up a good point. And this is what men really have to really think about. It's saying,
like the whole,
go ahead.
Yeah. It's like the whole passport bros thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, look, there's beautiful women around the world, and I will not knock anybody for finding love. Look, my ex was, Dominican, lived in Spain, loved her, very traditional woman. But to go down to a place and you are spending your money for love, that is not to be bragged about. And when they brag about these women that, oh yeah, $40 could get you this and $40 could get you that, I'm like, dude, you are number 38 this week.
Yeah.
What are you bragging about? You have nothing to brag about.
Yeah.
Like, and my thing is like, look, what she said in there about men have to learn how to be able to talk to a woman, be able to court a woman, all that other stuff. If you can't do that, you are the sucker at the end of the day.
Facts. Yeah. Facts.
Like, look, once upon a time, I was a lame. Like, once upon a time, I was a lame. You know what I'm saying? And, then, huh? I was a cornball. No, I was a cornball, man. I was a cornball. And, I had to uncorny myself. You know what I'm saying? 72,000 Instagram followers. 66% of them are women, but I don't want to get into that. But anyway, the thing was, like, I had to learn the game. I'll never forget this, Joy. I remember I thought I was like, the cool guy in the crew. right? We went to the clubs. This was when I was like 19 years old. And my one of my good friends had a older friend. His name was Carlos.
Yeah.
And I got to the club. We got to the club, us younger guys. We got to the club first. It was this beautiful Latina. I went to go talk to her. She thought I was cute, whatever. But then when Carlos ran up and he had his Rico Suave whole thing on, I was like, wow, that is game.
Yeah.
And he got a number. He got a number, and they went on to date, right? They went on to date. And you know, I was salty about it. And then he said to me, he was like, yo, bro, instead of being mad, why don't you learn the game?
Oh.
That's why I had to learn.
Yes. Honestly, what's going on, sis? Honestly speaking, ask, what made you a lame?
Oh, you want me to answer that? I thought I answered it already. Yeah, I was just like, I was very insecure. Didn't know how to talk to women. Women thought I was, you know, LGTB because like I thought I was. I used to overly compliment a girl. I'm like, oh, you know, you have this great dress, matching shoes.
The nice guy,
like that, right?
Nice.
Oh my gosh, just stupid. And not to mention, right? So when I got back on Twitter, some reason, like I just went through my old DMs and I was just clicking on like, you know, my 2009, you know, DMs. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was laying on heavy with, queen this, queen that, morning sunshine, horrible. I was like, hey, I can see why that you know, she didn't call me back. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, I would go up on dates or never hear from a woman again.
Got you. And there's another question. Chavis asks, how do you talk to a guy? How do you talk a guy away from ingesting the red pill?
Oh man, I get this a lot when I see guys who subscribe and they being. You gotta tell them like, look, what is the end result?
Yeah.
Do you want to? Does it align with what you really want? Do you really want to be single for the rest of your life? Because if you really use the red pill, you will be single for the rest of your life. And also look at the people that you are following. I've always said this, right? Do you want your life to mirror the people that you are learning from? You know, look, we Christians because we honor Jesus and we want to bring our lives closer so it could look like his, you know?
Yep.
But if you want your life to look like Donovan Sharp or Myron Gaines, like, come on, are you serious?
Oh, Rollo Tomasi, who is married.
Oh, what a loser.
He's married.
Loser. And here's the thing, like they are all frauds. And here's the thing, because like
wait, hold that thought. Rollo Tomasi is no different than Ciara, right, who is married, writing songs about being single and encouraging that.
Right.
Rollo Tomasi is no different. And you guys can share this with him if you want, but he's no different. It's hypocritical. And if he was to be a real man and a rational man, like his book claims, then he would see if I'm married and telling men out there that they need to be single, right, and not to be dealing with women and things like that, and have those talking points, even though that's not always his talking points, but it's heavy on that. Then he can't come at toxic women or claim women to be the problem if he's doing the very same thing. Ciara's writing music as a married woman about being single. Rollo Tomasi is married, writing books.
Beyonce does it too. Beyonce, you know, talk about this woman empowerment, but she's married to a guy that cheated on her.
Yeah.
Make that make sense. Make that make sense. It doesn't make sense. And the thing is like at the end of the day, and Sadia says this in the last part, says if anything that you consume leaves you hating the other, then it's not worth consuming.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, I do believe people should watch out. People should use wisdom, but I think it's like, you know, it's like politics, right?
Yeah.
It's like, if the other side is doing this, do you want to destroy all of the other side just to, whatever, or do you want to like kind of negotiate things for the common good?
Yeah.
Because we need women. I'm sorry, we need
We
women.
do. Yeah, we do. And any man that said, and any man that says that they don't need a woman
And,
is not thinking
Mhm.
rationally. And just
Yeah.
like any woman saying that they don't need no man, not
and
thinking
you women
rationally.
need us.
Yeah.
You women need us for this, for I guess one or two reasons, and this is the main one. Who's gonna kill your spiders and your roaches? I used to work. Look, no, he ain't gonna come in time. Like when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you turn the lights on and there's some roach like run across the kitchen, he ain't gonna come. I'll be there next. Set an appointment. It's like I used to work with 90% women in my office job.
Yeah.
And we used to always have these type of debates. And I'd be like, you don't. And anytime there was a spider, I'd be like, go kill it. CP, kill it, CP.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I know there's a couple more seconds left of this. I'll play the rest of this segment out, and then, yeah, man, because she really brought some amazing points here. And this is one of those. This is the type of pill that I think some men really need to swallow.
Yes.
This is a truth pill. This is actually what it is.
So we need to stop blaming the OnlyFans girls and be like, you're the trash. But really, the trash is the person that's subscribing. That's the issue. I believe anyway. What do you think?
I think it's the problem. I feel like
Now, what I like how what she did here is she's sitting across from a man, right? She frames it extremely logically and then puts it on him and saying, now, what do you think? So now he's not going to say, well, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with his podcast. He seems
big.
pretty balanced.
And this guy's got an Instagram following.
Well, look at him. Like, the dude looks
he's
like
a stud.
like-
He's a stud.
Yeah, he looks like he belongs in like,
GQ.
yeah, all that stuff. Like he's
a stud.
Yeah. So I've never seen him before you sent me this video. But I like how she framed it. Very psychological. This is what I think it is. Right. And then she says, but I like how she framed it. Well, this is what I think. Tell me what you think. And then puts the man in a position where he really needs to answer.
I have never paid for any subscription, any picture, anything, any escort, nothing. So I feel like, in a sense, I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
Maybe I could definitely be doing better with who I'm following, but it's improving, and I'm pretty sure after this podcast I'm going to be doing a cleanse because everyone's going to be looking at who I'm following.
Yeah, but it's natural. Who wouldn't want to follow a stunning, beautiful girl? I get it, and I could argue that the women should stop posting that, but the reality is there's no.
My question is, how many men she got following her? Because she seems attractive. I'm pretty sure she's got
I'm
thousands
following
of men.
I'm following her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but the thing is that her posts, it's just, she has no nothing revealing. She's a devout Muslim.
Yeah.
And I think she does talk about things that do get both sides upset, because she's coming from a standpoint of she's thinking of what's best for children.
Yeah.
She always says it. She talks like, what is a man's role when he becomes a father? What is a woman's role when she becomes a mother? So her standpoint, it may be blunt, but I think that's what the thing is. But it's not like she has Pearly Things following, or she's like 1.7 million followers. And it's only because Pearly Things is, and I did a video on this, go check it out, about how she panders to her male audience.
Very much. Yeah. And her talking points are all repetitive. She's not saying anything different.
You should see when her and Sadia went at it.
Really? Can you send me that?
Oh,
that I want to watch.
Sadia ate her alive.
Yeah.
Alive. Had that girl, stop talking. I'll mute your mic.
Really?
She does that little thing with her hand. Oh,
yeah.
She owned everything, to the point where Sadia had posted the producer's DMs talking about, we don't want you back on the show, or so forth and so on, and it got really nasty,
Yeah.
and she because one thing I like about Sadia, and she's trying to change the talking points
Yeah.
of what's going on, because it is disgusting, but she can't do that, because, and it's like my channel, like I don't have a channel where I'm demonizing any side.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. Agreed. And the thing is, she's an academic, so a lot of these channels, they don't have people who disagree with them who can actually articulate the disagreement well, and she can. A lot of times, Fresh and Fit, Just Pearly Things, a few of these podcasts out there who are they find the women who have these beliefs without understanding how those beliefs were formed and why they believe what they believe, and they get them to come out here and speak, and they tear them apart. When you have somebody who's balanced, right? Sadia is a psychologist. She's an academic, so you're not going to get the woman who's talking from her feelings. She's talking from a place of academia, some experience, because later on in this podcast she shared her experience and even admitted that she has some traits that weren't the greatest. Reflective,
As we all do.
As we all do. Yeah. So, but yeah, and I think Gracious Greatness, you brought up a good point. I also agree with that perspective in a sense about the drug addict, but I think her point was that not in a matter of redemption, of a matter of perspective, right? There will be no need for a drug dealer if there were no drug addicts. The addicts are the ones that fund the drug dealer. So when he's comparing it, all she was saying is that the OnlyFans model is like the drug dealer,
right?
And as long as there is
the
a
addicts
consumer,
supply, supply and
a
demand,
supply, then they're going to do that. So if we don't make a demand for it, they can no longer provide the supply, and that's the point that she was trying to make. Yeah, that's the point that she was trying to make. But let's finish this out, because
no negative consequences to posting badly. There's no, before, like I've said before, if I was a woman posting provocative pictures, I would know that there's going to be men who would judge me and never want to be with me. Now there's men queuing up to be with that girl, and they see it as a prize, like, oh my God, your girl's so hot, blah, blah, she's got her body.
And they're the ones being flued out. They're the ones being flued out to all these places.
Done, and she's on Instagram. They see it as a prize. They don't see it as a bad thing. So there's no negative consequences from being promiscuous as a woman anymore, because the men don't mind. They actually encourage it. So I don't know. Maybe it's a chicken and egg. Maybe it's a both thing, but we can't blame one or the other.
So we'll stop this one here. But I think
she made a good point. She made a good point. Yeah. Because okay, all right. There was an ex-adult star that turned Christian. And she ended up getting married and having kids. I would never marry her. I don't care if God gave her I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
That takes a very special amount of grace from the man.
Ooh, you're telling me?
Yeah.
She might be sanctified, but
yeah. But I think she brought up a good point. And again, I think here's a common thing. Men claim that they're supposed to be the leaders. Women are quick to blame men for things because they're supposed to be the leaders. Certain things that we have to take ownership of, gentlemen, and this is my opinion, and you can let me know if you agree or disagree. If we reward certain behaviors, those behaviors will continue and eventually get worse. If we allow certain behaviors to go unconsequenced, meaning if this unconsequenced, the behavior is likely to continue. If I can go to, as a child, if I can go to a store and steal a chocolate bar and get away with it, I'm probably going to go back and try to steal an apple, and then try to steal a soda, and then keep trying to steal something more and more and more because I'm not consequenced.
Yeah.
If I am out there making music, talking about killing my own people, and I'm rewarded for it, other people are going to see me making money about music killing my own people, and they're going to hope to do it so that they can get rewarded. Men, if we are rewarding women for showing their bodies out there, even though we know we're not going to marry that woman, we can't be mad if other women see us rewarding them and wanting to do the same thing.
Right. Right. It's I think, but what I kind of think of too is like there's always a short term to all of this. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
when a
You
woman,
mentioned that. Yeah.
like when a woman is, from she's 18, and if she's lucky to 30, she's looking her best. Then there's that drop off. Then she has to look back, and men too, they have to look at all the life that they wasted and say, what was all worth? Then it's like, then that's what ends up hitting. So I think that you're right. However, I think that the worst thing is that, especially to the, like I had a 27-year-old beautiful woman from friend of mine from California. She moved here, and I'm telling her like, what you're looking for is only going to end you, and you're only going to end up being one of my female friends in her 40s, wishing and wondering what went wrong.
Yeah.
Why am I single with all these cats and dogs around
Yeah.
me? Because what you're giving up is not what you're getting back. Go ahead, hit that horn. Hit that horn. You're trying to look for it, right?
No, that's bars. Yeah, because people aren't taught how to find the right mate or even how to behave. Or they're taught how to behave, but in the toxic behavior that really won't give them what they really want. That's why men, with their words, say they want a traditional woman, but reward the toxic, like Homeboy, who wrote a book, who I probably will never read, Myron Gaines.
That book was so small. It probably had so many big letters in it too.
So you saw the book?
Yeah. He's on that guy that she's
Yeah.
Before, like, and so and I watched like maybe 15 minutes of it before I nearly threw up in my mouth.
Yeah.
The book is like this.
So yeah, his talking
thin.
points. He said the
So
same thing
same.
over and over again, and
Over and
again,
over again.
he also taken the same playbook as far as how to engage from Andrew Tate. They now engage conversation the very same way. And
Well,
because yeah, go ahead.
there's an architect of that,
Yeah.
and most of it is through the pickup community.
Yeah.
And so that was 12 years, maybe 20 years before them.
Yeah.
So all this stuff is regurgitated, and none of the stuff is updated.
Yeah. The problem is it's easy to be picked at because again, so I'll give you an example, right? Sadia would know this, right? I think you would also know this. Their stats, which they love to bring up, right? Stats. And with those, they'll claim a certain thing is a problem because of the stats. The stats shows numbers. It doesn't show the variables behind the numbers. So somebody who's like a psychologist will look at the data, right? And go deeper than just the numbers and identify what subsectors in that data, what sub data exists in the general data. So, let's say, I'm gonna throw a number out there. Let's say, and I'm an extreme number, 95% of all marriages end in divorce. So you shouldn't get married. That's how they draw their conclusions.
Right.
95% of the marriage.
But not why, not how,
Yes.
not maybe because, like, look, I'm one of the, I'm a divorcee, and I know why my marriage ended.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And most of it, and I talk about this, when it comes on why do Christian marriages end in divorce?
Yeah.
And my thing was just like, I brought baggage to my relationship that was unearned.
Yeah.
People bring up statistics. Oh, man, it's usually money and this that. Maybe it's like, there's another book that I picked up. What does it mean when women test men? Something like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that how I was operating as a man, I couldn't operate the same way with my woman.
Yeah, yeah.
Meaning that, like me and you, right? If we go to a basketball court, I could talk trash to you. You could
Yeah,
talk
yeah, yeah.
trash to me.
Yeah.
After an end of the game, we act like we weren't talking trash to each other.
Yeah. We're chill. We're
Can't
good.
do that with women.
Yeah.
They're emotional creatures. Sometimes they don't
Yeah.
want you to.
And like
Sometimes-
honestly says, it's okay to be emotional, right? Emotion, but not to be emotionally led. All right.
True.
Yeah.
It's like many women just want to talk out their feelings. They don't want us to fix it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want us to be leaders. Sometimes they don't want us to win a fight.
Yeah.
I one lesson that I had to learn the hard way was, fellas, even if you win the argument, you lose.
Yeah.
You always lose. Sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, honey.
Yes, you're right, babe.
Don't take it personal. All right, honey. And you know what amazing is? She'll see your strength. Then she'll be like, man, I was acting stupid. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, you're right, baby. I get it, baby. So yeah, I hear you. Yep. And that's wisdom. That's wisdom. Because the goal is and I say this, right? Many couples don't know how to fight because they're fighting the other one to win over the other person. The goal
You ever
is
heard about the pillow method? Argue at the pillow. Huh?
Tell it to us. The argue at the pillow?
You never heard the pillow method?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So let's say you and your wife arguing about something.
Yeah.
And sometimes we end up like bringing stuff that had nothing to do with the argument. So we start attacking each other.
Yeah.
So you get the pillow, and both of your job is to talk to the pillow.
Yeah.
And not talk to each other.
Yeah.
Say, I feel like XYZ such. And then you go, I feel da 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 da. You arguing at the pillow.
Yeah.
That way you can't tell the pillow, oh, you know what? 5 months ago you didn't do the dishes. I'm still mad at that.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? I might be getting it wrong, but there's also thing about there's also a thing about using I and never saying you. Never using you, always, the word always, and never use those words.
Yeah.
When you're arguing.
Yeah. Proverbs, thank you so much for being here. Yeah. So I definitely understand it because what it does is it changes mentally, it changes the perspective. So you're not fighting somebody. Now you're just getting what you need to get off your chest or addressing the issue, which is important in a marriage, being able to address the issue without having to say you did this or you are this, because a lot of couples go into the whole you are instead of you did. What you did hurt me. Or for instance, if somebody lied to you, you're a liar. Hold up. No, they lied to you. Let's address what they lied about and let's fix that. Mm-hmm. Because now if you're calling them a liar, that's a deeper issue to fix. A much deeper issue to fix. Okay, first.
How about this?
Yeah.
How about this? Why do they feel the need to lie to you? Were you not an open door?
That too. All that plays in. All that plays in. Not saying it's right, but all that plays in.
Not saying it's right. Not saying it's right, but sometimes we could be such a I think the thing too, what I've learned is that, we can't put ourselves on a pedestal and we can't put the other person on the pedestal. And what do I mean? Putting myself on the pedestal means that I can't think I'm too good not to be wrong. Yeah. And I can't put her on a pedestal that she's too good to never make a mistake.
Yeah.
That's where grace comes in, like, and moving past things and saying, like, you know what, in this season of our disagreement or whatever, where maybe this is an area in my life where it's supposed to strengthen me. Like, look, I'm an entrepreneur. This might not be the same type of thing, but like, an entrepreneur, my life is like, I'll have a great week, then I have a bad like
Yeah.
a couple of months.
Yeah.
Then I realized maybe there's areas in my life where I'm sleeping in a little later. I'm watching too much Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm procrastinating. So I had to say to myself, okay, I gotta work harder in those areas that I'm weak in
Yeah.
to perfect. And sometimes a spouse will bring that out, and sometimes you like, I think a spouse, has to like say, look, you know what, this person is bringing something out of me that I need to change.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
Yeah. And that's the beauty about marriage, because it tends to reveal some things that may not be helpful in maintaining a
And a
relationship.
curse too.
Yeah. Both. But yeah, man. Listen, I know we have a Knicks game coming up, and I don't want to keep you too long, bro. But I do want to thank you for sharing this video.
This
with
was
me.
great, man.
Yeah. Great discussion, great conversation. Thank you for everybody in the chat who engaged in the discussion through the chat. But I think that what she said in the video was spot on. I thought it was spot on. And non-reflective, and I gotta say that non-reflective men will see this and say that they disagree. She was pretty objective there, right? And if you watch the continue on in the video, she addresses how certain things that she did wasn't the greatest in relationships, even in the relationship she has now, which I appreciate that reflectiveness, right? She's not coming off like she knows it all, that she has all the answers. And that's the difference between somebody who's an academic, who has done the work, who is a professional in the space, and then those who claim that they have all the answers, write a book that they probably use some AI to write for them. and
there's a reason why that thing is this thin, man.
Yeah. And then release it, selling it, claiming the book is actually titled something like
Womanese. Is it Womanese?
No, how not to give the women the best, or something. It's a crazy name that's actually really demeaning to women. I'm like, dang, the immaturity oozes from this brother. And the thing is, I hope, because I think probably at their core, somewhere deep down in the core, where they can't even access it anymore, but somewhere deep down in there, they really want to be helpful. But they don't realize. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
It's marketing, really. They're making a lot of money, and that's why they're doing it. That's what it really is. And it's like Adam and Preach had said, if they're benefiting off of your pain, why are you? They're monetizing off of your pain. That's what they're doing. It's like they're just like, think about it. Like they charge $300 an hour just to speak. How I got off of the Andrew Tate bandwagon, because I was like defending him. I thought I disagreed with maybe 95% of the stuff, but there was 5%. I agreed with him like 90%, but there was like 10% that I was just like, all right, dude, you're corny. But what killed me, right, was when they did the Dice documentary, and men paid $5,000 for this one course. They flew to Romania, and get this, right? They had to get into an octagon and fight each other. And the look on Andrew Tate's face of glee, of watching these guys that never fought in their life getting, the snot beat out of them, right? He was loving it. They said he made $1.5 million that weekend. $1.5 million. Just think about that. $5,000 for what? $5,000 for what? To be this alpha dog, whatever. It doesn't cost that much, man.
No, it don't. No, it don't.
You can get some books, a gym membership at Planet Fitness, eat right, learn, get rejected sometimes. Look, I did it.
It's crazy. Dag, I didn't know that about. Yeah.
It's a whole pyramid scheme, guy. Guy. It is a whole like, they are really banking off of men, and there's women in the other spaces too that are banking off of women, being miserable.
And here's a tip for you guys. This is one of the things that I learned when I was going through earning my master's in counseling. And they tell us this. There's a code of ethics in counseling that exists. If the services that we're providing as a counselor is not working for our client, we should refer them to somebody that could help them. That's the goal. So every single good counselor, they are trying to work themselves out of a business. Every good counselor is working themselves out of a business. Meaning, their goal is to help you get to a point where you're healed, able to self-cope and self-regulate, and solve the same problem that you went in there with independently without them. That's a good counselor. If you go into the same counselor for 2 years, and I'm talking about like, and I got to say this, I'm talking about like chronically diagnosed mental illness. I'm talking about things like, I'm dealing with heartbreak, right? If you are dealing with heartbreak for the last 2 years, seeing the same counselor, you're going to need somebody else to see. That's a fact of the matter. And anybody that's giving you advice on YouTube, including me, anybody giving you advice on YouTube that's not helping you get what you want, meaning, and this is like, and you're pouring money into them, and it's not helping you get what you want, you need to leave that space quickly. I even say this about, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Even churches, right? Churches will tell you, keep giving your money to us and God's going to do this. And some of us have been in churches for 10, 15 years doing the very same thing. And we're in the very same place we were at 10, 15 years ago, and nothing was ever done. Okay.
Yes.
We have to be wise with that, because people in general, without the right heart, because there are pastors with the right heart that will accept your offering in churches and help you out, help you get to where you need to be. Okay. Then there's people in general, not just pastors, but people in general that will take your money, right, and keep you in that state of dependency and hurt, so that you keep giving money to them, because they don't really want to see you healed. They want to see themselves rich. And
Absolutely right.
So, we have to just be cautious of that. And I say that
because look, I'm a Mac, and anytime Fresh and Fit talked about how to get a date, I'm like, bro, that ain't gonna work. bro, yo, so lame. I need to get
fresh.
What's that?
Fresh, really? Like Fresh is giving advice? I'm just saying, Fresh. Yeah. Let me stop before they come at me.
No, you don't want that. You gonna want that, because Big Brother gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'll back you up, man. I'll back you up.
All right, bro, but thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it. Great discussion. We got to do this again, man.
This was fun.
Do this again. Find something. And a shout out to Sadia Psychology. Thank you for doing what you do.
I give her your blessings.
Yeah, please. And yeah, man, I'm gonna put you in the green room real quick while I close out the live stream. All right.
Cool.
All right, guys. I'm about to end it here. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you made it this far in the live stream or in the video, please hit the like button. By liking the video, it tells YouTube that it's the video worth sharing, and they're going to share it out, put it in people's suggested videos, and hopefully they'll have a chance to watch it. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. And by subscribing, you'll be joining the Harrison Extended family. That's what I call my community here on YouTube. Also, a couple of ways that you can support the channel financially. If you want to, you could click down below and hit the join button down below and join that way. We have inexpensive tiers that won't hurt the bank. It'll help us continue to promote good content like this and do more shows like this. Also, you can go to patreon.com/Harrison Family Values. And we have the same exact tiers on Patreon that we do on YouTube. So the tiers don't change. You can support us monthly by going to patreon.com/Harrison Family Values. And if you're watching the replay of this video, you can hit the super thanks and give us a donation there also. And we also got merch. I'm the type that I don't really like receiving money for free, but if you want to buy something and receive something and give money that way as well, we have merch. If you look down below, you see merch there. We have 2 new designs of hoodies and shirts and stuff. You can support the channel by buying merch there as well. And what else? I think that's all I gotta say. But shout out to CP the artist. If you are not subscribed to his channel, please go over to this channel and subscribe to his channel now. Also, go into his Instagram, search CP the artist on Instagram. He does there. You can see a lot of his art, his work, and hire him to do an artwork piece of art for you, because I used him and the art piece came out amazing. And you're gonna love what he does. And again, it's a way to support somebody who is a human who could do even better than what AI can do for you. So let's keep that support going. All right, and yeah, I think I'm done, man. I appreciate you all for watching, and until the next upload, a live stream, I'm out. Peace.